All right, let's talk about one of Walt Disney World's most charming spots, Port Orleans Riverside. If you're looking for a moderate resort that feels less like a hotel and more like a genuine getaway, you've come to the right place. We're gonna see what makes this southern escape so special. You know, this quote really just nails it. Riverside isn't trying to be the flashiest resort on property. It's all about atmosphere. It's about giving you a place that feels calm, scenic, and honestly a world away from the hustle and bustle of the theme parks. And the absolute heart of that whole vibe is the Sassagoula River. This river is so much more than just pretty scenery. It's truly the lifeblood of the resort. It connects everything, and it even gives you a direct, relaxing route to Disney Springs. It really sets the perfect, tranquil stage for our whole tour. So, as we follow that river, it leads us right to the main building, which is themed to look like the Sassagoula Steamboat Company. This is your command center, right? It's where you check in, you shop, you eat. The whole building is meant to feel like a busy port right on the Mississippi. And the theming just gets better once you step inside. When you're in that huge open lobby, just do me a favor and look up. Way up in the rafters, you'll see the names of real Mississippi River ports like Vicksburg and Baton Rouge. It's such a cool detail that just pulls you right into the story. Okay, so step back outside the main building and you can't miss it. I'm talking about the resort's most famous landmark, that giant working water wheel. It's attached to the Riverside Mill food court and it just turns and turns all day long, really selling that authentic, rustic mill vibe. Now here is where the theming gets really clever. While you're inside the food court, grabbing some food, you can actually look through these little windows and see the giant gears of the water wheel turning. I mean, come on. That is a level of detail you just don't expect from a food court. From there, let's take a short walk across a bridge and head over to Old Man Island. This is the big recreation hub for the whole resort, and it's designed to feel just like an old-fashioned swimming hole you'd find tucked away in the woods somewhere. And this island has so much going on. The pool itself is awesome. It's got this great freeform shape and a huge 95-foot water slide that goes right through an old sawmill. But the thing that's really unique, the catch and release fishing hole. You can literally just grab a cane pole and spend an afternoon relaxing by the water. It's perfect. Okay, let's talk about the rooms, because this is where the resort storytelling goes to a whole other level. See, Riverside isn't just one style of resort. It actually gives you two completely different experiences: the grand mansions of Magnolia Bend and the rustic cabins of Alligator Bayou. And believe it or not, there's a whole backstory that connects them. The idea is that as you traveled upriver from the main port, building supplies got more and more scarce. And you can see this reflected in the architecture, which literally changes from these ornate, fancy buildings to much simpler, rustic lodges. So clever. And you can really see the difference here. On one hand, you've got Magnolia Bend. It's elegant, refined, with these big, white columned mansions, perfectly manicured lawns, and yes, elevators. Then, on the other hand, you have Alligator Bayou. It feels totally different. Cozy, quiet, secluded, with these wooded paths and two-story lodges. It seriously feels like you're staying at two different resorts rolled into one. But look, staying here is about more than just your room. The entire resort is built around that river, which opens up all these amazing activities. This is a place that's really made for exploring and just taking your time. So what are the best ways to soak in that whole riverside atmosphere? Well, you've got some really fantastic options here, things you just won't find at most other Disney resorts. There are so many great ways to enjoy this place. For a lot of people, the boat is the #1 reason to stay here. It's this peaceful 20-minute cruise right down the river to Disney Springs. No buses needed. You can also take a horse-drawn carriage ride in the evening, which is super romantic, or rent one of those Surrey bikes for the family and pedal along the paths. And hey, you can even just take a nice walk over to its sister resort, French Quarter, for some famous beignets. All right, so we've toured the mansions, we've walked through the bayou. What's the final verdict? Let's break it all down and figure out if this southern escape is the right fit for your next trip. And that really is the big question, isn't it? Because the things that make Riverside so unique can be a huge, huge plus for some people, but maybe a little bit of a drawback for others. It really comes down to what you value more, charm and atmosphere or pure convenience. So let's look at the pros and cons. The biggest pros, for sure, are that gorgeous, peaceful atmosphere and the incredible boat service to Disney Springs. Now, on the flip side, this resort is huge. It's very sprawling. So depending on where your room is, you could be in for a pretty long walk to the main building. Also, the bus system has 4 internal stops. That means if you're the first stop picked up, you have to ride around the whole resort before you even leave for a park, which can definitely add time to your morning. So in the end, Port Orleans Riverside is all about a choice. It asks you, what kind of Southern escape are you looking for? Do you want the refined elegance of a grand mansion, or do you want the quiet, cozy charm of a cabin deep in the bayou? Either way, you're definitely in for a relaxing time.